gym. So like close tomorrow, it could be like next month. People are like, it's boring, it's old. Someone could make one next door, but you gotta try it. And it's your Rizq. What will be, will be. But du'as can change that too. I think also him reverting. Look, this has been since last April. No evidence. All of a sudden he comes back as a Muslim, holding the Quran to court in an Orthodox Christian country. That's gonna piss people off, bro. People say he's a fake Muslim. Piss fake. Why would he do that? That's gonna ruin him more. It's like going to a pit bull. Come here to the pit bull, like, and you get bitten or what? Look, they're trying to break him. You can see, I know him. It's taking its toll. At the same time, Allah's the best of all plans, and he's there because Allah wants him there at the right
time. Cool. Ready to go, bro?
Yep.
All right, cool. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Rizq podcast. This is episode 32. A very, very big episode coming to you straight from Dubai. We're in the home of TKMMAFIT, Tam Khan, owner, former fighter, entrepreneur, actor, many, many things, mashallah. And now a guest on this podcast. So thank you so much for your time, bro.
Yeah, pleasure, brother. Thank you for coming. And I respect your hustle, bro. Coming, traveling around the world and doing podcasts is amazing. And I'm actually getting into it myself, so I know how hard it is, you know?
Yeah.
You set up, you've got all these machines. I have to hire people because, like, literally, I'm not literate with any of those. Like, editing is the hardest thing in the world, you know? And after doing podcasts, I realized how much of a skill it is, you know? I really want to get into it because it's like the future. Everyone's into social media, online, wherever it is, and editors are key.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, Jazakallah khair, bro. I really appreciate that. And I think, look, ultimately, you know, you're at a different level anyway in life. So, you know, for you to do like all this type of stuff, it's not necessary. I mean, I think for me as well, like as I progress, you know, I'd want to build a team. So, you know, if that's where you're at right now, main thing is just creating that content, bro. And, you know, I've been seeing that you've been pushing a lot of content recently. I was even watching a video that you put out last night. And you know what, bro, like everything that you've invested in here, like you can really see that, you know, you're taking this very seriously. And yeah, I just, we'll get into kind of your mindset and where all this kind of came from.
Sure.
So we're here in Dubai. Beautiful gym, by the way, bro. It's like you walk in and you're in a different world.
Yeah, it's different, you know. You'll have better gyms, more expensive gyms, beautiful equipment. They have spas, cryo chambers, but ours is just because of the outside kind of hook up to it. You know, we've got this outside. We call it the TK playground, and because you're from the UK, like yourself, like myself, when you go on holiday, you want to be outside. You want to feel the heat. Otherwise, we would stay in UK.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of niche we have. So I think it's just a USP we've got, and yeah, it's just we've got a good atmosphere and vibe, and we've had many influencers and professional athletes. UFC stars and everyone comes, so it's become like it's a social. It's like the place to be for an Instagram video, you know. So it's not whether the gym's good. Everyone just comes to do like 15 seconds like this and leave. So alhamdulillah, it's good, you know.
Yeah, no, alhamdulillah, man. That's really interesting, actually, and obviously we'll touch upon this, which is you've created like an Instagrammable gym, and actually that's really interesting because you see, especially in the UK, I'm sure here in Dubai as well, everyone does like these Instagrammable restaurants, right? So they have the flower walls and they have the neon signs, and actually here there's no like flashing lights or anything. It's just lots of people, lots of hard work, and then you've got the outdoor ring, you've got the 2 rings. I saw you got the swimming pool coming as well, mashallah.
We had a swimming pool before, but we're just refurbing it, putting the logo in the bottom, just little touch-ups, new lines, opening a grooming salon for men.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so hair, shaves, trims, manicure, pedicure is not my thing. Yeah, I'm like that. I don't like that, but massage, hammam, IV drips, a lot of like, I want this place to be, for example, you finish work or before work, have a good workout, shower, maybe a trim, shave, everything, you know, for one place. So it's open to all demographics, but obviously our biggest demographic, which we appeal to, is men, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's more popular purely because of the mixed martial arts background.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, bro, like just kind of sitting here in front of you and just thinking about, you know, at some point you were just a kid in Essex, right? If I take you back to that kid in Essex, did that kid ever think that he was going to make it to where you are today?
Honestly, for me, I swear, wallahi, I don't feel like I've made, like, we've all made it. When people say you've made it, for me, it's just, I live in Dubai and I've got a gym. For me, it's nothing like, I don't find it impressive. Like, for me, we look up to the prophets, peace be upon them, or I see people who invent things like, okay, just been blessed with good connections and networks and figure things out. But it's nothing, you know, like, for me, I'd say, I've made it like same. I could say to you, you travel, you got a podcast, you let people speak, you're doing your thing in UK, but it's not like I'd see that. when you're young, you want to be a footballer, then you want to be an astronaut, then you want to be He-Man, Hulk Hogan. It changes, but the older I got, when I got into sport, I always wanted to be doing something that I loved and enjoyed, because that's why I love podcasting, and people would take that as a job, because you're meeting people. It's not a job. It's just a passion. You're meeting people with different backgrounds, and you're making a living from it. For me, that's life, because even being Muslims, we know this doing it's temporary. So why are you gonna? I'm not saying don't work hard to provide for your family and kids and get a secure kind of lifestyle, but at the same time, don't kill yourself as a slave. Do what you enjoy, because there's another afterlife after this, you know. For me, priority is Islam, and just then doing something I can enjoy. Me with my big fat head sitting in the office, it just doesn't work. I've tried that. I've tried everything, and this is not about even. There's a limit to what you can make, but for me, it's just the passion. For me, it's not about money. It's just lifestyle. I come here and see people, athletes like yourself, training outside, podcast room here. People from all demographics, all athletes, and different kind of genres. I just love talking to them, meeting them, and I'm here a lot. And not that I have to be, but I just enjoy it. It's a vibe. So for me, that's so important, because when you get older, you realize, God knows, tomorrow never comes. So just, enjoy it in a halal way, So that's, for me, it's very important to do what your passion is. I've always said that to everyone.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, as you're talking, I'm kind of just, thinking about, even where I am right now, and that's what I'm trying to achieve. And I think that's what the success is that everyone's looking for, more than financial, more than anything. It's just that, I mean, there's a Japanese word called ikigai. I don't know if you've heard of this word before, but it means a way of living. And it's basically like your lifestyle and your finances and your relationships and all of that is what you want and what you desire, right? Rather than, like you're working in an office and you're doing something on the side.
Yeah, you do it for others, yeah.
Exactly.
But look, sometimes when I say that, people think, oh, you're selfish. It's not that easy also. I'm like, not that we're like Bill Gates, but we're blessed in a way where we've took that risk. Like you said, no risk, no risk, but it's a risk as well. Could not work out. So you sacrifice that experience in a job, this and that, which could build you to getting that crazy salary one day or whatever that title you want. But at the same time, for me, I swear, it's just, I feel better like that. And like I say, if it's your passion, it's not a job. Do what you love what you do. And I love that saying, it's true. And for me, it's so important, because especially being a father and kids, I like to have hours where I can go and spend time with my kids and not just, be a slave to the office, come home, the kids are basically bedtime by the time most people work, So on the tubes, like in UK, they're all like, it's not just 9 to 5, it's 7 till 7, because you got to wake up, shower, commute, come back the same. So you're working crazy hours. So somehow I respect them though, because that's hard work, bro. People who do that, really, I respect them. Everyone who puts that work in. No,
100%, man. I think that's what it is. Everyone's trying to just make their way in life. And I think, ultimately, happiness is what's the most important thing, right? Yeah. So, again, we're here in Dubai, right? And as I mentioned, you were born in Essex?
Actually, born in North London.
Okay.
Edgware Hospital.
Yeah.
North London, and then moved to Essex at 10, 11 years old, I think.
Oh, okay. So you're in North London for the first 10 years.
Yeah.
So what was your life like? What was your kind of family setup? And I guess the reason why I'm asking this question and kind of taking it back is really just to understand how your mindset was formed. So, for example, when you were a kid, when you were going to school, what was your lifestyle like? What was your mindset like? What were the things that I guess the influences that you had, and what were you trying to do at that age? As a young kid.
Honestly, I had a really good upbringing. I say, alhamdulillah, I'm not going to come out I'm from the street. Amazing parents, amazing livelihood. My mother, led by example. She put us into sport, looked after all of us. Nowadays it's different. Women don't realize, that generation, they cook, clean, take you to school, put you in sports clubs. Sometimes they didn't have cars, on the bus back home, shopping malls, everything. So their life was raising you as kids. We don't appreciate how hard it is. When you have kids, you realize nowadays you have maids. There's science behind everything, but in those days, there's nothing. It's just parents. There's no support system, no TV shows or apps. So we were very disciplined kids. Taught Islam at a very early age. Knew what's right and wrong, but parents just work, be confident, put us in sport. And it was just a really good childhood. I enjoyed it. London had many friends. I was always what can I say? An extrovert. I'd always be around people. I'd always have friends who were older than me. I'd always be, I'd always be the one you notice in the room. As a kid, I loved it. I get that from my mom probably. She's like that as well, outgoing. So my dad's much more quiet, chilled, like stone cold like my sister. I'm like the mother. And yeah, so just as that at a young age, meeting people, always family dues, weddings, the usual. And just like that. And I loved football. I loved WWE, wrestling, Mike Tyson. I remember watching his fight with Buster Douglas as a kid. Strong, like, I like that whole He-Man, like, boys want to be strong, muscles, the Ultimate Warrior. I was into that as a kid. So, and my mum used to push it, men should be strong, women good, men should be always like this. So I was like, I want to be like that. So,
so your mum was saying this to you when you were a kid?
My mum's very like that. Like, my mum is alpha mum, very tough. Like, we lived by the seaside in Essex. It's freezing anyway, UK. She'd always open the patio for ventilation. Every day she does it. Doesn't matter if it's -10, summer. And even if you're cold, she goes, stop it. What are you being? You're cold. Are you a man or wuss? Like,
wow.
Yeah, so at an early age, like, if you're lost in sport, she'd laugh. She goes, what do you mean? Go back. Like, why are you losing? Why are you suffering? Like,
Wow.
Or if someone beat you in a fight, she'd mock you. It wasn't like, oh, well done, you came second. No. So we install that kind of toughness as a kid, which is the best thing because it makes you what you are, Alhamdulillah, I'm glad for everything.
MashaAllah.
That way.
I mean, there's a few questions that just came to my mind, and I think I'll probably ask you off camera, just in terms of like parenting and all these types of things, because that's a really interesting
you can ask me on camera. It doesn't matter for me.
No, it's just more to do with again, daughter. You've got two daughters, right?
Yeah.
How much do you push a daughter? I mean, we're kind of going off the topic of you, but how much would you push a daughter then?
For me, it's funny. People laugh. I said if I had a son, I'd be so strict and tough. With daughters. Literally, they have me wrapped. I can't explain. You know what it's like? Daughters, it's like stuff like it's like an angelic thing. It's just whatever they do. I've got OCD, bro. I hate. I'm very into like everything's clean, no creases in the bed, in the car. I don't have snacks. Since my daughters have come, it's gone out the window, and I'm like, it's changed me. It softens you, It makes you weak.
That's true.
I used to be very like tough, not phased, aggressive, but I can watch TV shows now with kids. I want to cry. It makes me soft, bro. So like with girls, I'm like you. I can't like. Wife says to me, "You never discipline. You never tell them. You're letting them be okay with everything. They have a naughty corner because they're getting a bit rowdy. And when I just laugh, I say, "Come here," but give them chocolate crate. So I'm not an example for that. I think dads and girls, it's impossible. I think the mother is key in all households. For me, I think the mother's the boss, especially with the kids. She's the university. Whatever they learn, it's 90% of the time from the mother. The dad's just the protector, everything. Yeah, we do the best we can. But the mother gave birth. They have this attachment. Whatever you do, that attachment's there. So I think it's vital that the mother, she takes the lead in like disciplines and everything. And it's easier. That's what I think works majority of the time.
Yeah, no, alhamdulillah, I think that sounds pretty much accurate anyway.
Yeah.
So, no, thanks for that, bro. I appreciate that. So you mentioned about Islam, and I know that you're very God conscious now.
Yeah.
And I've heard you speak about how you weren't always this way, but you mentioned that you were raised with good Islamic values. So, what was your kind of Islamic upbringing like, and how are you as as a Muslim teenager growing up in that environment?
To be honest, I've always been God fearing and God conscious my whole life. I'm not due to my mum. I was just lazy as a teen, Just not praying regularly, skipping, trying to act cool. But I've never touched a drop of alcohol my whole life, alhamdulillah. I'm 41, a drug, nothing. And it was fear because my mum taught us in such a way. But it wasn't like, lock you up, you can't go anywhere. She said, look, so you can go these places, son, but know the limits. And I did. And so, as usual, men, in the West, it's natural instinctive with the opposite sex and you find them attractive and you have these kind of flaws. But I've always been God conscious, and like the older you get, obviously, when you have kids, you realize just to have kids is a blessing, it's a miracle, So when you're praying to God, please, Allah, make them healthy, this, that. When your parents are getting older, you do these du'as, so naturally you become very devout more because tomorrow never comes. When you're young, you don't have that. It's hard to be relatable like those days. And it's not like now. We had social media now. We didn't have those times where you could Google a hadith or this. It was just there was no such thing. 100%. It's just like some imam would tell you, and imams would just tell you, shut up and stop making noise in the mosque. It was the old school. So I've always been like that, and now of course more because for me, you realize your purpose of life, and tomorrow never comes, and this is just temporary. Like some people say, see me as some kind of social media influencer. But I'm like, for me, I'm nothing. Then I'll meet a Khabib or a Khamzat. I'll be like, I respect them. Or someone meets Andrew Tate. There's always someone, and we're all nothing. You know, none of us. So you have to have that. And my main goal is to live long enough to see my kids one day happily married or successful or university, whatever it is. That's my goal now. So whatever I do is, you know, like you'll know, it's for the kids. So life, it changes when you get married and have kids. You know, especially kids, it truly changes. So for me, it's just my priority is them and being the best I can be as a person, which is no one's perfect. We make mistakes daily, but trying, because, bro, you could be gone. I could go now on this podcast or on the way home. So we have to be ready. And I think nowadays people are chasing silly things due to social media, money, fame. They want to be something where they're neglecting the realities, you know? So I think you can have the best of both worlds as long in a halal way you can. But I honestly believe, I don't think there's enough role models, as to say, Islamically, for the younger youth to look up to as well, which is annoying. Like, you've got the Khabib, so mashallah, he did amazing. Recently, he brought a lot of attention to the younger youth and the young boys who acted like bad boys, seeing someone, toughest fighter in the world, winning, but humble, you know, Sonny Bill Williams. There's many guys, but I think we need more because the youth's lost. They're chasing money, just rap wannabe, kind of gangster rap. I want to have this car, girls, and they're just... In our days, when you sin, you'd hide it. It'd be shameful because, you know, sin number two, you'd be ashamed of the community. Now it's just, they have no shame. It's changed. They're doing it publicly, holding bottles of alcohol and free mixing the girls. In those days, you wouldn't even think of a girl posting, but now they do. And I guess worried. I'm thinking, where are their fathers, you know? You know, I can never imagine that in our generation. You know, like the old days, dads would be like, not that I condone that, but it was different. Parents can't discipline kids. Teachers can't. It's gone wild, bro.
It's a bit
police,
wild,
people don't respect police. So everything's gone like just the Wild West, bro. It's just unfortunate, especially in the West.
I was just going to say, it is really the Wild West, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because here, alhamdulillah, I mean, one of the things I noticed is just, you know, like, for you, it's probably normal. For me, everyone's like, I haven't been to Dubai in about 5 years now, right? So it was just like a shock that everyone's very hospitable, you know, everyone talks to you, everyone wants to help you out, and I think there's that Islamic thing where people want to just, you know, just do a kind favor for someone, you know, I'll give this person Wi-Fi if he needs it, a personal hotspot, you know, just little things like that, which is very easy to do here, alhamdulillah. And I mean, I think, you know, from what you said about, you know, OnlyFans and Instagram and, you know, all these dating apps and stuff like that, it's crazy, bro. Like how did you meet girls before? You went up to them and you used to speak to them. You know, now you just sit there and just swipe.
Your parents or someone will say,
exactly.
I know this girl from this place, can meet her father. But I mean, it's also, you can use these things in a good way as well. There's many Muslims who use it in a halal way. There's many Muslim sites. Because I feel sorry for the younger generation, how they're going to meet partners. Like, I don't believe in forcing them to marry someone. It doesn't work. I feel sometimes the girls get the worst end of the stick when they get that pressure. I think you should allow them, but in a halal atmosphere, in a halal way. So sometimes these Muslim macho, I don't know what they call websites work, but at the same time, society's dirty, so you have to protect these girls because also there's not a lot of bad girls nowadays as well, not like in the old days, it was just the men. But also the men, you know, 80% want one thing, so got to be careful raising kids and educating them on what to look for, and listen, don't be naive, people are using you, just to be smart. It's very important to educate them because all they see is this twerking, this, that, this guy's, I'm a G, this girl's, I'm sexy ho, like this stupid like culture.
Queen.
The guy will pick her up in a nice car and she thinks that's cool, let's drive around, and she feels like she's got to do something because she'll look bad in her peers. This is society now. Whereas the old days it was more embarrassing to be caught like that, you know?
100%, man, 100%. So you mentioned that you were really kind of into the kind of the masculine element, like you said, the He-Mans, the Hulk Hogans. When did you first start training?
Early, I can't remember. But like as a kid, I always was trying to do things, watching Rocky, myself. Then my mum bought me. I wanted weight, so she bought me from Argos. Remember Argos? These York set. This York set I think comes to 25, 30 kilo.
The gold ones or the black plates?
The gold ones. And that is like, every kid's like, I got York. So I just sit there watching TV, arm curling. So I had these like huge arms at one age. And everything else was small because I didn't have a bench. And I learned things like that. Then my mum, my first day of school, I think the first or second day of school, some kids waiting for me. I think year 7 is first day. CS7. So I'm leaving. And it's in a white council. It's like the whole area, maybe 2 ethnic families, one Bengali family who are running a restaurant, so no one ever saw them. They're just in the restaurant. And us, so I'm literally going to school. One kid wants to jump on me. Obviously, it must be because I'm the colour, so he didn't say that. But so I'm just standing there and he's trying to hit me and I'm just like doing this. He's not tough. It's just, it gets stopped by someone. So I get in the car, mum picks me up and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm just saying, no, nothing. And my mate, who's in the car, he just, this guy tried to jump Tam, I'm hit some brakes. Who? I want to drive back, grab the guy, I said, come and fight him one-on-one. Like, I'm like, huh? Yeah, fight my son one-on-one. The kid got scared. I'm like, I don't know how to fight. Like, what? Like, then she put me in a gym. A few months later, there's a gym where, like, bodybuilding gym with some boxing. She goes, go in there and be a man. Like, get strong, be muscular. Be like this Mike Tyson, these kind of guys. And the rest is history, literally. I just got addicted to training, gym, boxing, Wing Chun, karate. MMA. I just loved everything physical. And with that came confidence. I became popular because, as well as being the only ethnic, being the only brown face helps as well. At times, everyone knows you. And then I went through 2 stages being a bit of a bully, whatever, but you have to be sometimes, unfortunately, to mark your territory. And then, just got into it. And I grew, genetically, alhamdulillah, like a family quite big, so I grew quite big as well for my age. And to the point where, I was quite respected and known in the area, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And so you mentioned there as well that you kind of, so again, it sounds very much like your mum is, like, she's got this vision of, like, what's to come, She already knows what a man's life is going to look like, and she's just trying to make sure that you're prepared for it.
Yeah.
And that's really beautiful, man. Honestly, this whole podcast, all I've heard is, like, my mum put me this on. My mum said, and alhamdulillah,
That's why she's like a boss. And we're Pashtun, Patan, so it's in the culture. Fear, some don't know fear. So she instilled that at an early age. You're Pashtuns. Graveyard of empires, never lost a war. This is earlier. I'm like, huh? What? It's not coming out my nose. Who? And like, people used to think when they speak on the phone, you sound white. They call me. I had Pakistani friends. I was like, you like a Gora. They call me. Yeah, you sound like a Cockney. But I said, I'm around this my whole life. She was the force, like, whatever it was, and literally, like, you feared your mum. Like, I could fear her. Failed an exam or I did something wrong, but I know what she's gonna say. I wasn't scared of police or anyone. It's like my mum. And I think that's why I say it's important. The mums are like the university, the boss, everything for me, in my opinion, in the household. And let the dad be the protector and financially help whatever he can. So I'm old-fashioned. I think that system's worked through countless centuries. And I think why change it? Sometimes not everyone's lucky like that. You need 2 incomes or whatever, for sure. But boys and mums always have that connection. Girls and dads. This is this thing. So that's how we are. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even be in sport or confidence she gave me. Like, you can be Mike Tyson. You can be this. Yeah. Can I, like? She would say, why can't you win the 100-meter sprint in the Olympics? I watch her. I go, yeah. Why can't I? Like, maybe I can't. I can't run, but yeah. So it's like that kind of belief which you need. I think it builds confidence. She never gets impressed by anything. She's like, So that helped, and I've took that without realizing to where I am now. Anything I see, I'm just like, why can't we? Like, why can't I do that? Like, I admire some people. I respect them, but I'm never impressed. Like, I'm never in awe. Why? Like, I respect what they've done. You're amazing what you do. I'm never like, it's just something instilled from her from a young age.
Oh, mashallah, that's really amazing. And I think you're very blessed, very fortunate to have that, because, I think for most people, we grow up in an environment where actually it's almost the opposite, where it's like, be safe, right? Be safe. Don't go outside, right? Don't do these things. Don't fight. If someone says something to you, walk away, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like the opposite. And I found, that's kind of where, with my upbringing was similar to that, where it was like, I was very extroverted. I used to go out and I was always trying to be pulled in and reined in. And I think to a certain extent that was great. It's alhamdulillah, I am where I am today. We're here, we're sitting here. So alhamdulillah, obviously there's a reason for everything. But yeah, I think that thing about role models is something that, again, we didn't have the internet growing up. the way that it is now, at least. And we didn't have these, now you can wake up and put Mike Tyson on and you can listen to what he has to say, or your Donald Trump, or whoever it might be, right? You can listen to what these people have to say. And then it comes into your mind. And I think that's why these kids are now getting this very much younger, 15, 20 years old. You've got multi-millionaire entrepreneurs, and you've got crazy, this and that. And I mean, it's like, if only we could turn back the clock 20 years.
These kids are like TikTok, Twitch, iSpeed, whatever, 18, 19 millions. I'm like, wow. But respect, like, those days, it's this IT generation, everything just changes online. So these kids were smart, like the KSIs, who think playing computer games will make you so successful, But at the same time, in a way, it's bad. I think real life's, the reality aspect's sort of gone as well. The days climbing trees, riding bikes, when the street lamps came on, you got to get home. Real life, so that experience you miss, and just knowing you can't mess around, you're going to get slapped by someone. Teachers would hit or shout. Police will grab you, like that discipline's gone. I think society in this way where everything's so woke and left. Oh, don't shout. Let's listen to the feelings of a kid. I'm like, what? He's 4 years old. What do you mean these feelings? Or maybe this. That's what it's gone soft, And I think you always need that, not tough, but you need that kind of iron fist where discipline, respect. When I was younger, in even my area, there's always that hierarchy of a certain guy. You're like, oh, he's that. You'd respect that guy. That guy's that man, or that kind of family, or that dorm, or the elders. Everyone had a respect hierarchy. That's gone. Go now, kids don't care. They're lippy. You know why? Because they know nothing's going to happen to them. That's the problem.
No repercussions.
In the old days, you get a slap or a punch, Literally, I remember we got beat up by, we played Knockdown Ginger. I don't know, any of your viewers will know that story. What that game is, so you knock and run. So when they asked on, you're just laughing. So we kept doing it to one guy. Literally, he opened, so we threw a stick. I think it hit me. He chased us and beat us all up. And like we deserved it, but we were like bleeding and we were like laughing. It was just stupid things we do. Let's go on a train without paying a ticket, stuff like that. They're little things, but you're young, just silly things, but it makes you, it's experiences of life. And I think it all comes down to what you do. And I really believe it's just totally changed to the old days. Like when I go UK, I don't recognize it anymore. It's weird, I think it's just one of the greatest places on earth. I mean, London, greatest city on the planet at one point. For me now, I struggle to stay there more than a few days. So it says it all, It's not safe. You feel uncomfortable. You don't want to be with your wife and kids, mother, whatever. You can't walk around. They can't have nice jewelry on, phones. You're always just like looking. I don't want to be like, I want to relax. And like in Dubai, you can just walk wherever you want and relax. So that's the difference. So I think it's unfortunate,
No, 100%, man. I think it's one of those things where it's like if someone stands next to you on the elevator, you need to check your pockets to make sure that he's not reaching in. And here, like, I find it weird, like, some of your staff are like, oh, just leave your bag here. I was like, it's going to be okay, yeah?
Yeah, literally. Go anywhere you want, leave your phone, suitcase, whatever, come back, it'll be there. I guarantee it.
Alhamdulillah, man. Again, Muslim country, this is that Sharia that everyone is scared of, isn't it? And just touching on what you said as well, there's a very famous saying, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. And I feel like we are living in such a good time right now. Like when you look at the US and the UK in particular, I don't want to, it's kind of like we've just come down this avenue, but when you look at those countries and you look at the people and you look at what they're actually angry about, like, oh, I can't I can't become another person, or I want to do this, I want to do that. It's like you're living in such good times that this is the thing that you're
first world problems, we call it.
Yeah.
It's just I think they've gone insane. I think I don't know what the agenda is, but they want to like destroy the family. It's weird, and they're pushing this. Look, we're Muslims, we don't agree with it, but someone wants to do it. Like we've always been, there's always homosexuals when we were younger in the 80s. These areas but just do your thing, but don't push the agenda. Like you don't like it when there was a point in Islam was growing in the old days, and it was a point before like 7/7 anything happened. You see brothers with black flags and the town centres.
Al-Muhajirun and those guys.
Join the Sharia, Islamic State. I swear, South and the High Street. And that used to irritate. I'm like, because they're pushing down the throat. So just why they're pushing this agenda. And it's what's annoying me more, they're infecting kids with this disease. So like kids already don't know what they want to do, bro. Kids don't know what tomorrow's coming. They're just thinking, I'm going to get a sweet today. What time will I bring? Sleep, go to school. They're so innocent, and you're putting in their head, but you know what? You might not be a girl or a boy. Just choose later on, or you might. It's sick.
And if your
And you
parents
question
didn't
it,
know,
if you question it, you're a bigot. You can't win, and then your child is child abuse if you stop them from thinking that, and they'll take the kids away. So it's a vicious cycle. It's dangerous, bro. And I just don't think that's society. I think it's just becoming animalistic. It's just we're going back. We came so forward. We're going back now. While the Middle East, look at the GCC, Qatar, UAE, Saudi now, and these countries they laugh at us before. They laugh at the Muslim world. Backward Arabs, the derogatory words, you know, sand, whatever.
Yeah.
And now look, they're all dying to come here because they see society works. Look at Qatar, the World Cup, the impression they made, it was superb.
Amazing.
Mashallah, what leadership, you know, standing up for what they believe in. Look at Saudi, bro. People mock. UAE, like for me, alhamdulillah, the best city on earth is Dubai, by far. Apologies for the coughing, guys. When you have kids, you always catch things off them. And they've got this bug from school and I've got it off them, I think.
No worries, bro. And again, just appreciate your time. I know that, I know that you're sick as well, man. So yes, I wanna get into the aspect of your fighting now, okay? Because you had to make a decision at some point, or maybe it was your mum who just said, just do that, right? But what was the point at which you decided that I'm gonna? I don't know if you went to university or anything, but
yeah, I did.
You did go to university, yeah. Oh, so you went to what did you study at uni?
Business management.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it worked out well, mashallah.
That's to keep the parents happy. My mom and dad were like, do whatever you want, just get a degree.
Yeah.
For them, that picture on the wall holding that thing, it's the world, especially Asian parents, as you know. Sorry. But keep these clips in, yeah? This is raw. I've got a cough. It's more raw for the podcast.
100%.
So the whole thing was be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a pilot. But I started training, getting really into mixed martial arts, which was relatively new in those days. Sorry. We'll start that bit. We'll edit that bit in my throat. So I went to university because my parents always said, you need a degree, son. One day you'll get a job, you're not going to get jobs. That was the whole thing those days. If you don't have a degree, you'll never get a job. I'm sitting and studying. I've got a friend who left school at 16, making crazy money, running around being a runner, then a broker. I'm like, well, I'm doing part-time work here, and I'm looking at myself studying, and he's making that. Did I make a right choice? But Asian parents, you know, push. And it's no bad thing, study. I really believe it gives you a discipline, educate. It's very important too, but everyone's different. But at the same time, I was training mixed martial arts. It was a very new sport. Fell in love with the UFC. And I was doing well at the time. I was probably the first Asian Muslim MMA fighter in Britain, I think, at the same time. British born. Yeah, I think I was. And I just fell in love, did my degree, started working, started professionally fighting on a professional level. But in those days, it wasn't like now. Nutrition, this, that, you train yourself. And no money. So I got into that. I loved it. And I always knew I love this sport. And I always wanted to be involved, whether it's coaching, fighting. But it was so new, there was no money unless you went to America, and it was very hard those days. There was no internet. You couldn't sell yourself. We didn't know what it was. And then we had a gym in Essex. We had a promotion. And it was just growing the sport, and I loved it. It was like everyone in the network of fighting knew each other. And I remember I flew to Dubai, 2-4, 2-5, my first time with a friend of mine. And I was a professional athlete at that point. I think I had a fight coming. And I was just Googling. Google came then, or I think it was Google. Where to train, Yahoo, whatever. Where to train, let me go for a gym. I couldn't find one. I remember at that time Dubai was, this is a new city called Dubai.
Right.
And everyone was going.
What year roughly is this?
2005, I think.
Okay.
And came and I just couldn't find a full-time like a facility like in UK and many at the time. You'd find like a karate center or a boxing. So anyway, I had a great trip, loved it. Everything's, you know, the halal food, the weather, the mosque. It was just like, wow.
It was just a holiday at that point.
Just a holiday. Went back to UK. Went again a few times. The last time I came back, so I was working at a place called Carphone Warehouse.
Yeah.
Whilst
You working in the store or in the?
still, but like, I had a good luck here. I was like the highest salesman, so I was like running the shop at one point.
Yeah.
I had gifted gab so I could sell to everyone I knew, you know. So I was just smashing it. I just turn up when I want, sell and go, making loads of commission to a point where they thought I was doing fraud because my sales were so high. It was just like, it wasn't hard to sell in this dead town. It was like, you know, it was like last of the summer wine meets like charismatic Asian guy. It was funny. And I came back and it was great. And I'm sitting from Dubai all tanned. And I'm in it having sandwiches. A mate comes to see me on his bench outside Tesco Extra it was in Pitsy. People watching this in Essex, Pitsy is the pits. I love it, but Pitsy is the pits. And I still remember it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to move to Dubai, I'm going to take a risk, I don't care. My mate to this day laughs, he goes, I remember when you said that. So I'm going to go to Dubai, I had enough of this, I can't do it. I'm going to go to Dubai, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to set up a gym, and I've got to make MMA there, and just for me, it's depressing, I can't do this. It's not about the money. And I was also doing door work, and stupid things, incidents on the door. Trouble was coming. I could feel like it was just coming. And a lot of your friends are doing other bad things. I just wanted to get out of that.
What age are you now at this point?
23, 24, 25, 26. Around 25, 26.
So very formative years. Those are the years straight after uni and you're now building your life, isn't it?
I thought, you know what? I'm not married. No commitments. I'm going to give it a go. Give it a few months and try. And I moved in 2008 and... I never looked back.
Yeah.
And I think it was the best risk and move I took. And I swear, like, honestly, I can't thank even Dubai enough, because the place where you get the opportunities to network and you have a goal or a dream. Everyone says America, land of dreams or opportunities. I think it's UAE. For me, the land of opportunities is the UAE. I really believe it's a new America, and it's been great to me. And I took the risk. I went for it. Had amazing people in the way. Support my family. Always, you know, do your thing. Be good, strong. Don't worry. And you know, I always knew I could always go back if I had to. But I had to prove a point. I'm not going back after a week. For the first 4 months, it was depressing. Like, it was a bit hard. I was like, you know, if I go back, everyone's gonna laugh. Kept doing it, and then you have that break, and then boom, you know, when Allah wants, it just comes.
100%, man, 100%. So 2005, you first came out here, and then when did you make the decision to actually move out here?
End of 2007, I think.
End of 2007.
Yeah, but I moved in 2008.
And so, were you just kind of like saving up all your money and then just decided to come? Or?
I was making good. I was doing smashing commission. Bouncer. I was running the doors in this area, like that means like I was head of the security.
Yeah.
Because I was fighting, and so everyone thinks, oh, he's a fighter, he's hard, you know, like it's beating up a few like donkeys who are drunk. It's not impressive, yeah. And just making it look good for the crowd, because you know you'd have to fight, so you can make it like highlight reels. Everyone gets scared, and making for that age, you're making good cash, you know. And I just thought, you know what, it's not me, like. Just down, I love Dubai. The weather, people are beautiful. The food, I was like, you know what, you know, and I want to get married one day, and so I'm just gonna go. I remember I was like that Tesco Extras, but also the Friday night before that, I was on the doors, and I'm just like beating up, throwing these like chavs, drinking. Girls are collapsing in the toilet, guys are passing out, and I'm like, you know, those old like karaoke's, and I'm just standing there like this, looking, going, what is this life? Like, just like, what am I doing? This is just depressing. I couldn't do it. Like, quiz nights, and it's the same people every time coming to the place. It was literally like the hills have eyes, a wrong turn. And I'm looking at myself going, what is this? I swear to you, it was like wrong turn. And I thought, I can't do this. It's depressing me. And you know what? I just swear, I thought, I'm gonna go to Dubai. I think that's the place that says booming. I need to get on top. So, yeah, alhamdulillah, good choice.
And so, when did you kind of make this public to your family that you're gonna now move?
A few weeks before, so I'm gonna go to Dubai for a few months. I've got a job in some gym there, which I contacted the gym actually to say, let me get. So one time there, I'm settled. I went to the induction. I sat there. I looked at everyone, and I just didn't come back to the gym. On the first induction, I said, I can't do this either. It was just, I don't want to be like rude or arrogant in the way. It was just corny, and I was like, yeah, it's not me. So I thought, let me hustle and freelance and try and build this sport and put flyers around and like just build MMA and make my own classes. Literally like the Cobra Kai TV show, it was like that. And running around flyers here, talking to someone else, talking to them. Yeah, I do this. Come, what's MMA? You seen the UFC? It's like all these moves. Like no one knew what it was. Like they only knew Bruce Lee and just about UFC was just not even on TV here at that time. Then they won a contract with a certain channel. Then everyone knew it. And hustling, and one day you just get a break. And a journalist came to contact me. Goes, look, I heard you doing these classes. It's quite interesting. I want to do a write up about it. That's like it was called 7 Days newspaper. It's stopped now, but it's like the Metro in those days. Metro in UK, free. Everyone had it. It was everywhere. And he came. The tagline was good, and there's a picture of me holding him in a choke and about something about cage fight. And it came out the next day with my mobile phone number in the article. My phone's ringing next day. People want to try, and if that article just blew me up. I was like, I need to find that guy. I don't know what his name is. I have to find him and thank him. But I have to do that actually. I'll find out his name, and it just blew up. I was hiring this small little studio, and it just got packed. And then from there, just building. Athletes come, people traveling to come and train when they're on holiday, and to the point where it got so big, I made my own facility.
You know, one thing that's really that I wanna ask you in terms of your mindset. Then, right? So you were here by yourself. You were hustling hard.
Yeah.
No job.
Yeah.
And you're trying to build a business, but from the sounds of it, at the start, it was more like just trying to do like one-on-one work or do group classes and kind of just grow it a little bit, right? And then, like you said, it was almost like overnight, your phone started blowing up and, you had packed out studios and stuff like that. What happened in your mind the day before that article came out and the class was packed? And then afterwards, did that have an impact in terms of like your ego or your nafs? Did it affect your nafs in any way, or were you quite straightforward, like, okay, this is just a bigger class, I'm just going to keep going with it? Or did you think, wow, like, I'm the man, or like anything like that?
No, never like anyone who really knows me knows I'm never like, everyone who knows me will always say he's not, I've never had like that ego show off. Yeah, impressing girl, you're walking around like you when you're younger, trying to act cool, acting like I'm good looking like this, like thinking I'm DiCaprio, like more like Shrek. But everyone has those phrases, But at the same time, I've never been one of those like, I have time for everyone. I've never been like that, and it doesn't really get to me, it never will. It doesn't, But I was a bit, at one point, I was more like, whoa, what do I do with these people? Like, it's too many people. And then just adapting. I think it's a good problem to have,
Yeah.
Rather than the other way. But I was never stressed. Like, I can't explain it. I saw it as, I'm not married, kids. It was always in my head, and it's a risk. What's the worst? I just go home. I'm like that. I honestly, like... stress is when you have kids, then you know the meaning of stress. When your parents get older and, you start getting old or anything, you see people, subhanAllah, like dying of cancer and like people, that age group, then you start thinking, But I never really, I swear, but when you fight professionally in a cage, you have to have a bit of nuttiness in you. Like, I'm talking about, not in the like, it wasn't like UFC, it was like circus having cage people smoking, and you're just fighting with wild people. So I never really, I just had that, I want to, I'm just going to do it. I never thought too detailed into it.
Just took the action.
Yeah.
You just did the action. You didn't think about the different outcomes. Yeah. So let me do it and see what happens.
Yeah, I had a goal, I remember, to make the first full-time mixed martial arts academy in the UAE, to make the first ever MMA promotion in Dubai, UAE, and find the first ever Emirati mixed martial arts athlete and put him on the high stage. And I achieved all. I did the first MMA full-time facility, alhamdulillah. I did Dubai Fight Championship, the first ever Dubai MMA promotion. And then Muhammad Yahya, I got him a contract with Bellator, who's the current UAE Warriors champion. We got the first ever Emirati to fight on a big stage. Like, you've got UFC and Bellator. UFC is like Premier League, Bellator's like La Liga. He fought on that show. So, alhamdulillah, that was like a big achievement to get someone from raw roots to that level. So I achieved those goals. And now, from there, then I had other goals, like a different, like a sports center kind of complex, other kind of like YouTube boxing, did that, everything, like just many other things I thought, and I just did. So it changes all the time, like, like now a project I'm involved with a VIP networking club, and Meister's Club.
Meister's Club, yeah.
I've got involvement in like a lot of social media influencers. I was thinking about making a hub here like the Nelk Boys have, you know, like a Sidemen version to buy podcast, the facility, looking to franchise, making a grooming salon, never thought about that. My next thing, I've always wanted to make like a restaurant. I've always, because I eat so much, I'm like, why am I paying them? I must make my own restaurant. I swear to you, I'm always with people.
Yeah.
Everyone knows me, groups of 5, 10, 20 people. We're always paying. I'm thinking, why? Like, I might as well just have my own place because I'm filling it anyway. And so that's my next goal. It's just a passion of mine just to do. So I can just say, it's a restaurant, have family come there and guests. And it's just one of those things I've always wanted to do. I wanted to do a barber, like a salon, grooming salon for a long time. Alhamdulillah, in a few weeks that's ready. And that's one of my other boxes. So yeah, it's just, I always just have like little things here and there I like to do, just little projects.
Do you ever have any doubt in your mind about the things that you do? Like, for example, when you had that big class, did you ever, you know, I asked about one side about, did it increase your ego? But on the other side, did it give you any anxiety, or did it give you anything like that of like, how am I going to deal with this now? How am I going to grow this?
Not anxiety, but do you know what's weird with me? I'm very pessimistic by purpose. It's not going to do that. It's not going to happen. So I don't get disappointed. Everyone's going to laugh. I always think of the worst. This, for me, then there's a bonus. So I'm never shocked. I always think of the worst. It's such a bad trait, but I do.
I'm the same.
I'm always like, you know, I don't expect nothing. I just keep going. With the kids, I'm different. You're going to be the best, or you're going to do this. But with me, it's not going to work, or yeah. But I always kind of know it is, and I won't stop till it's done. Even if it's 10 times no, sorry, I'll come back. Yeah, but what about this? I just don't stop, you know? So
I think that's probably part of why you've been successful, because, you know, you've thought about the different outcomes that could happen, and you're trying to, you know, almost like veer your ship, whatever that vehicle is, away from those things and towards your goal. But if you're not thinking about all those things, then, you know, you could just hit a stumbling block and think this is it. So no, I think
also, yeah, and also in the last years, when you study Islam, you realize in Nasib Rizq, do what you can, but what's gonna be for you will be. So I don't stress if money doesn't come. I think, okay, Allah wants me to live. Maybe He doesn't want me to be a billionaire. Maybe He wants me to be poor. Maybe this is what is meant for me. I've worked whatever I've done, I've tried my best, but this is what's meant for me. So that comes from having strong iman and faith, and not everyone can do that. Like, it's easy to talk, but you get that when you pray a lot, read a lot, and you realize, once you realize that, then nothing bothers you, bro. I swear I'm like that now. I'll try. If it doesn't work, it's not meant to be, I'll try my best. They make this, it's not meant to be. Still surviving, still living. As long as you're content, you have a roof over your head and there's food in the fridge, that's all that matters. Really, that's the necessities. The rest is just wants.
100%.
So as Muslims, when you get to that, you don't care. So everything I do, I'm like, why not? Why can't I be Bill Gates? Why can't I get that? I'm going to try. If it doesn't, God doesn't want it. But still work, try. So I really believe I'm more content. Whatever happens is from Allah.
So what was the journey like of finding this place? You know, from that room, that first class, to this, literally, I'm not just saying because you're in front of me, like a world-class facility that you have here. What was the journey between that and here?
You know, in between that, I had some big hurdles. Like, I've opened facilities, brands and things, and I had partners who robbed me. I had very tough times here too. I never talk about, but I dealt with them. Really, like, literally, businesses stole off me. Ruined from egos and investors or partners. Then I thought, you know what, I'm going to just do my own brand, my own name, so no one can steal that. This is me, my own brand. Why am I promoting?
So you had businesses like literally stolen from you, money stolen from you?
Literally, you won't be shocked. Come overnight and like just egos, and then I make a gym like 400 meters away from them and just close their business. So that's the best way for revenge. I literally did that, yeah. I build things that people think they can take over. You know what, it's easy, let's get rid of him, let's make money. And then they realize it's not as easy as it looks. Otherwise, everyone will do it. Then I thought, my own brand, why not? Logo, my own facility, make it the ultimate training facility. One place where you can do everything, rather than going to one for a gym, one for martial arts, one for a kid's classroom. We've got fitness, CrossFit, everything on one roof. And alhamdulillah, it's the dream. Found this spot, and it's... You can offer me. It's just home. I just love the vibe, the passion. It's got like a history to it, and God forbid, you never know what can happen. Maybe landlord goes, I want to sell this building. You never know, because it's rent. I'd always mimic this kind of plan somewhere else. And that's why, inshallah, I'm going to start franchising soon. I put it out on socials, had a crazy feedback of people want to franchise it, but it will have to be mimicking the whole system, everything. Because from the brand, I want it like that. I want it one place for everyone. So, yeah, like, it just happens like that. And I think vision, like being in Dubai, when you've got a sheikh like Sheikh Mohammed, like the vision, look at Dubai 30, 40 years ago and what they've done. So it kind of rubs off on the people here, being residents or citizens, whatever you are. When you see the leaders, how they think, sometimes you see on the news, Dubai's building this, you're like, what? It looks like a movie. So when a leader's like that, the people also kind of learn. You're taking it for everything. Socials, I'm watching people on America, I'm watching YouTube. I take a bit of everyone. I like learning of everyone and seeing, like the YouTube boxing, I saw the KSI thing, thought I want to do that in Dubai. I take a bit of everything and what works, and I say, you know what, I like to get involved with that. So I think that's having no ego or always wanting to learn helps. It's a very important factor I think people watching should do. Look and network and just ask, how do you do this, how do you do that, or look into it and what's the thing, what's popular now, what's making money, what's a cool concept. That's the only way. You can't, not everyone's going to sit there and live in a cave and come out and go, yeah, this works. You've got to look at the demand, supply, network and ask people. That's the only way. I learn off many people in business, like many mistakes I made in business ideas, and I learn off someone, learn off another how to talk in meetings, how to do this, how to do that, and every day you learn into the point where you get more comfortable and comfortable. So it's a learning thing. You're always, something new in business comes, always, and you have to adapt. Changes, the world changes every week, day, so you have to adapt your business to that too. Like, the old days was now, if you're not social media educated, businesses lack. It's all about ads, TikTok, content even. Everyone can do an advert now, but it's what content's going to appeal, marketing, everything's the key. So you have to learn and adapt too. Like, old dogs trying to learn new tricks. It's hard, But that's part of the game and it keeps you on your toes.
That's one of the things that impresses me most about you, Tam, is the fact that, you've got that foresight in terms of like, what's on the horizon, what's coming next, and how can I utilize that. And I think one of the things that in most recent times was that YouTube boxing event that you did, because that was like quite early on in that whole YouTube boxing scene. So how did that come about? Obviously you've got the gym here, but talk to me about how that kind of came about, because that's a big deal, right? You had an arena, you had a ring, you had huge, massive people, right? So how did that all come about?
I had a student in the gym, Hassan, his name was. He was like a little vlogger. Hassan Vlogs, his thing, I think his channel was. So he came in and he was training with me. He said, "Are you watching this fight?" He had his phone. I said, "What fight?" And these YouTubers, it was Logan and KSI. I'm like, who are they? I didn't know who they were. Yeah, they're big YouTubers, massive. And had like 30, 40, 50, I don't know, a million views. I was like, what is this? Maybe I got the number wrong. It was just crazy. I'm like, huh? Live stream. I went, who is this? Like, are they that famous? Because, yeah, you're not watching it. Anyway, I was watching, it was just entertaining. And I was like, what is this world? So I just kept checking it out on YouTube, and I thought, then I knew a lot of YouTubers here, people come to the gym, and I knew a few. And I'm like, you know what? Got to make one there. And I was trying to convince these YouTubers. They're like, nah, I don't know. I said, listen, I'm going to make you box. Trust me, you'll be the first. Let's do it. Let's make a show. I'm going to get you on it. The YouTuber I got was Money Kicks, his name is. I said, do this. He was a bit attentive. I said, trust me, train you up, we'll get an easy opponent, whatever, we'll build you, and it's good for your content too. He's like, yeah, okay, didn't care. But then it came to like near Ramadan, I'm like, look, I'm doing it. He goes, yeah? I said, yeah, I want to really go through this. So come on, let's discuss this. Let's get an opponent, let's make a fight card, let's put YouTubers on there, but let's make it different. Let's make musicians, entertainment, make it a mad, crazy event in an arena. And I was the first combat show ever to be in the Coca-Cola arena in Dubai as well. I was the first with that social knockout. So no combat sport ever were there before. It was like concerts, Tony Robbins. It was a big risk, and I think it was COVID times. Got 2 musical artists, stage, production. It just looked like WWE. I was, even to this day, I'm not being biased, alhamdulillah, production-wise, it's probably one of the best shows I've ever watched in the Middle East. Like, production, the setup was amazing. Even when I was sitting there, I was like, wow, we did this, Basically, on my own with my assistant AC, literally from start to finish, and a good production team in Toli. And it was just amazing. And did 2 of those shows. massive successes here. And it was just something to tick on the list. Maybe we'll do another one. With shows, the problem is with shows and fighters, unless it's McGregor, Khabib and Tyson Fury, it's a lot of costs. The returns aren't the same. So it's a misconception. People like it's very, very hard. So I thought rather than putting money in, just about breaking even, not earning, not making a profit. The passion, I love doing the shows. I love it. I thought the real fighting is where the money's at, building the real athletes, because you're building characters that you don't have to pay them as much, and they can go on to like real promotions and you get TV deals. With the social YouTube thing, it's limited, you know. But it was one thing I wanted to tick on the box, and I did, you know. It was one of my goals. So it was the first one in the Middle East ever did. So that was like historical too.
Yeah, that's interesting actually, because it's almost like you have to pay a beginner boxer what you'd pay like a world champion, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so, where's the
more?
payoff?
And the thing is, these YouTubers, their followers don't relate to ticket sales. They've got a huge following of what they do, but some of them are kids, some of them different countries. So when you get a Canelo or a boxer or a Fury or AJ sells stadiums. People don't realize how hard that is. He's a megastar. YouTubers are not the same, so that's why you see some of these big YouTube names and their pay-per-view numbers are bad. It's not. People think all their TikTok or YouTube followers amount to pay-per-views. They don't. I learned the hard way. They do not even 1%. So it's a learning curve. These fighters, they're born and bred. People want to watch him. Now it's real. YouTube is more entertainment. That's why I sold out, because of the musicians. If it wasn't for the musicians there, we wouldn't have sold out.
Wow.
Yeah. People came to see the concert, so that was a trick. Yeah, literally music and fighting. But when the concert came, people are screaming. After that, they're like this. Sorry.
So you know, I don't want to like, honestly, that we could literally go on for hours. There's so much to talk about. I want to respect, obviously, your health and your throat.
This might be my last podcast.
So
that's why I'm talking too much. It's the cough.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that, bro. Thanks so much, man. And you know, like I said, I don't want to take up too much time, so that you know you can rest your throat.
I swear. Yeah.
I guess two last questions in terms of yourself.
You can edit these bits.
Yeah, no worries. We'll keep it, bro.
Put it on bloopers.
Yeah. Two main questions that I want to ask. In terms of the business of that YouTube boxing event,
Yeah.
what was your role, and how did you build? Because obviously you needed a team, right? So how did you build that? What were you doing in terms of like meetings and planning, and you know, what was that kind of journey like?
Bro, wallahi, it was literally everything was from me. I'd sit with production team to adverts, for looking for sponsors, to the weigh-ins, go into the arena where the screens will be, checking artists. Literally, it was me and my assistant AC. Start to
She's
scratch.
on it, by the way. She's really, really good.
Two of us. Yeah. And people think I'm mad, but it's literally like that. And I liked it. I was hands-on. Setting up the night before, going there for rehearsals, commentary team with my friends, judges with my friends, referees with my friends, ring girls I knew, the staff behind working my gym. It was just us. So literally, it was, everything was in control. We did everything from start to scratch. You know, from scratch. My English gone bad. My whole TK team came. So why I liked it, because I can trust them. I know them. Literally, I had students who come to the gym. You want to watch it free? You're working. Oh, I want to watch it. Here's a ticket. You know, you can. You're going to be backstage. You're going to bring in the artist out. You're going to be looking after VIPs. And literally, if you look at the videos and closely, it's all my TK staff and some of my students. So that way, you're in control. I trust that work for years. And yeah, literally, when you do everything yourself, you know, whether it wins or fails, at least you've done your best, rather than hiring other teams. And I know what I want to see. It's hard sometimes for me to explain to someone. I know what I want there. I know how I wanted to watch it. I know I wanted a bit of WWE meets Matchroom Eddie Hearn meets UFC. I knew exactly my vision, but I didn't know the terms. But I'd sit with them in the production team. Yeah, that looks good. That lighting there, that music, that DJ. From the belly dancers, from Adam Saleh to the performances to the MCs, everything was my idea. So alhamdulillah, yeah.
Oh, mashallah, man, that's amazing. I think that just runs testament in terms of like, if you've got an idea, you just go with it. And I always believe that, like, ideas, especially the good ones, they're there from God, right? So if they're there from God, if you've got a potential, if you've got an idea, it's a waste to not to pursue that if it feels good.
100%. And everything's from Allah. Everything. That could have been a flop. This gym, so it could close tomorrow. It could be like next month. People are like, it's boring, it's old. Someone could make one next door, but you got to try it. And, it's your Rizq. What will be. But du'as can change that too. So stay close to Allah. Just do dua. If you want something so bad and it's halal, and you're behaving and you're praying and you're being good and giving sadaqah and treating people with respect, Allah will give you back. I believe truly. If you're a good person, no matter what anyone wants to say about you, if you treat everyone fairly, you look after everyone, and you respect everyone, and your sole purpose is to be a slave to Allah, I promise you, as a witness, I'm nothing, you'll receive success.
Inshallah. And so you mentioned about, obviously you've got all these new you're adding to this ecosystem, right? So you've got the hair salon, you've got the mani-pedis, and you're talking about franchising as well. Beyond that, what is your...
Mani-pedis, I sound like a bit of a Sam Smith.
That's proper Essex, isn't it?
Mani-pedis. It means grooming salon. I don't like that stuff either.
Yeah. Grooming salons for the Dubai viewers. So so you're building this ecosystem, right? And so beyond this, what's your vision, bro? Like, where do you want to be in 20 years' time, 30 years' time?
Well, I hope, inshallah, I'm still alive. Like, I'm not thinking that long. Like, you get to my age, I'm 41. You don't know. So for me, I want to be healthy, live long and healthy, to see my kids and look after my whole family. That's my goal. Have them all living here, everyone, and just have grandkids. This is my dream, like this stuff. And just be the best Muslim I can be. Help others, be a better role model to the kids so they can get on the deen more. That's the goal. But I have a few ideas, and I don't mean it a pretentious way. I have a number in my head which I want to earn so I can relax and just look after everyone. And I'm like that. It's not like I do it for me. I don't care for cars, and I've been into that. It's not for me. It's just so I can look after that kind of number. I know I can look after everyone, give them all a house and everything, and khalas. I'll say, look, you're my friends, but you have to do some jobs, But, and that's it. That's the goal. Because why have success in this stuff? You can't share it with people. I don't get this, I don't get these guys who want to make money, run away and don't help their friends or family. It's just, for me, it's depressing. Be around everyone you can, help what you can, and just literally, just see your kids grow well, give them all they can have. That's my goal, so they live, alhamdulillah, well, where they're comfortable and not stressed about things, and just inshallah, my goal, obviously, like anyone, just to enter heaven when I die. That's my goal, to be forgiven for any sins I've made in my past and I do daily. So that's I think all our goals should be.
It's really inspirational hearing it from someone like yourself, Tam, someone who's lived, a very, wide experience life, almost segueing, I guess, a good segue, I guess, to the last 6 or 7 months. Yourself. And you were helping your friend Andrew Tate come over to the UK, and it's like
UAE.
Sorry, to the UAE, definitely not the UK.
Yeah.
If it's almost like both of you have this similar mindset of wanting to do better for other people, right, and trying to help other people to achieve things and clear the path for them. And so the reason I mentioned that as a good segue, because obviously in the last 6 or 7 months, that's been something that has shifted, I'm sure, your world in quite a big way. You were always, you were already very well known, very successful in your own right. What happened, I guess, in that 6 or 7 months ago, leading up to when Andrew came to the UAE? What we only saw when he was here and he was with you.
Yeah.
What was the kind of lead up to that?
I've known Andrew for a long time. We'd always be in touch on social media because, like I said earlier in your podcast, the fight games, he was in that generation. He was a young kid. His coaches around. I remember him as a young kid, just normal, looks nerdy. I was like, well, he can fight. And you keep in touch. I was like, Tam's the guy in Dubai. So certain fighters in that area, if you're in Dubai, go see him. Do you know, you're in Slough, you're in West, South, I've got a mate. It's just that kind of thing. Dubai was like Tam. I was the go-to guy. I was one of the first to come. So be in touch, and we was always talking. Then he just blew up, and I'd laugh. Like when I see some things I think I can relate to, I go, what's happened to you? And he'd always like my stories of Islamic sayings as well. I remember that. And I just think, oh, that's weird. Then I saw him promote Islam a lot.
And this is from a few years ago when...
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
We're talking and stuff, and every time he said we'd try and hit dinners, but sometimes we just never meet up, you know? We'll be just talking, let's do a dinner. I'm like, yeah, but I come off to go out. I know he'd love him out. I was like, yeah, I'll see you then. I was just like, I can't bother. Because he's just like lavish, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in my shorts, I just come off to come. I know he's going to be sitting in his jeans, cigars, and I'm like, I'm going to come in like Bob the Builder. I'm like that, you know? And then we're speaking, and I'm hearing crazy noises in my gym, by the way. Like someone's been stabbed to death. I swear, keep this on podcast. We are hearing like stab wounds. Imagine we're in this podcast right now, soundproof, and there's a mass murder going on. And this is the last message you ever get. I hope the murderers play this, yeah? We're laughing because this is no lie. There's screams going on. I don't know what's going on next door. But as you can see, this is soundproof. How can I hear screams? So this might be the last footage you have of us here, CCTV. And we came close, and I said, I wanted to bring him here to one of his speeches and bring him to Middle East. He came over.
So sorry, he didn't, when he came that first time, he didn't come with the intention of staying here. It was more just to see the area. It was more,
yeah. I said, let's do a tour, meet people, because he just got banned. I said, get you friendly. We just socialised, spending time every day, and he'd ask me who's to trust, who's not. Like, he's a very good guy, Andrew. Like, people say, oh, you're getting paid to defend him, this, that. Wallahi, never. Not one dirham I've took of him. The guy's got a good heart. Someone's getting murdered next door. I swear. I swear. Don't edit any of this. We're laughing, right? Because we can hear some screams. And wallahi is worrying. It's like something out of bloody Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm hearing someone scream. I'm getting worried right now. I'm sweating, like, because I know you're going to expect me to beat the guy
Yeah,
up. I'm old now, you know.
I'm all right. I'm with you, bro.
I'm the first victim. I'm going to get killed. He's going to survive. So I said, look, come over here. Dubai's a great place. Like, he come out a lot anyway. He had properties here. He came, and we did a tour, and we're just like together every day and spending time. And really sincere guy, yeah. Always good, well respected. Trust me, like, I don't have to say this for no reason. There's no benefit to me.
And like you said as well, like you've already dealt with so many famous people, so many successful people.
Yeah, like, it's not, for me, it wasn't famous. It's like Andrew, I know. It's not like when you see Khabib or Mayweather, John Cena, Van Damme. It's like, you know, Mike Tyson. It's people I've grown up watching. That's different. And still. So then he was saying, we were talking in a cigar lounge. He loves cigars, as you know. And Steven Seagal's with us. It looks like I'm arrogant throwing these names, but
yeah, as you
I'm
do.
not. Yeah, literally, it was like that. And obviously, Steven Seagal watched as a kid, but you know, as you get older, you're not so impressed. But I like Steven Seagal. You respect them, you know, elders and stuff. Just having a convo, religion and Islam and that respect. And I was talking about how you can never pay anyone in Islam, a poor guy, a delivery driver, give $1 billion to denounce Islam on a camera. We'll never do it. That's the faith we have, the love we have for Islam. And Seagal was even like intrigued. And I said to Tate, I said, look, you know what? I'm going to take you to a mosque one day. Just feel the zen when you walk in a masjid and like, you know? And he goes, yeah, I love to. He goes, but I want to revert anyway. He goes, so yeah, I thought he was just saying it. You know, Tate, you think half the time's content, you know? I said, yeah. He goes, no, I really... So we arranged for like a weekend.
So that was that after that session that you had, that chill session that you had with Steven Seagal, you were talking about Islam and stuff.
I would say, for example, a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
We said, let's go weekend. So Saturday, let's go Saturday. Saturday comes, and it's a UFC Islam when he won the title, I think. So we said, let's go watch UFC. We were going to go Abu Dhabi. We said, let's watch it with the good boys here. Let's get a restaurant, hire it out, like there's screens, 20 guys, just have fun, like old days. And it's a fast food joint. So I've got like 25, 30 guys waiting there. And I called Tate. I said, look, should we meet there? I'll give you the address. He goes, no, I'll pick you up. We're going to go mosque, no? Even right. I was like, oh, yeah, well, you're right.
So when did you agree to go to the mosque?
Saturday, before the UFC.
Okay.
So it's Saturday evening. It's just about after Isha's finished. So he picks me up in his famous Bugatti. And we go to this masjid. Yeah, what colour is it? Definitely, I haven't got the same colour. I don't have one. And then we go to the masjid. Isha just finished. We walk in. I said, you know what? The main Farz prayer, I prayed already the Friday at home. So I explained the sunnahs. I said, Lord, let's just do 2 rakahs sunnah. I just pray along with me and I'll speak loud. So I was leading by saying everything from
That's a sunnah,
the sajda. Yeah, I was doing every part, you know, because he doesn't know every part I was doing a little louder.
The Prophet used to do that.
Did he?
Yeah, the Prophet used to do that to educate the people behind
Okay,
him
yeah.
on what, you know, when you go silent, like the last 2 rakats or the last
Yeah,
rakat, he would whisper.
Oh yeah, from
Sallam.
sajda to every part,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that the people would learn.
To atayat
So,
and everything.
you
Yeah,
know,
so
you fulfill the sunnah by doing that as
so I
well,
wanted
mashallah.
to do that. So then, sat there and he's like, I swear, wallah, you had Noor in his face. It was just me, him, and maybe like a cleaner, like a caretaker who's in the corner praying. Quiet, and it was just himself, you know, we're talking, and I said, let's do it again. I'm not filming. He goes, what, are you sure? He's making sure, because, you know, people are going to think I'm an extremist ISIS now. Do you know the way the media come? I said, yeah, I want to do it. I think it's good. Everyone, you promote talking this, hoe that, bloody this, that. Let's do something good. And he goes, okay. So I called the guy. I said, can you film with the guys like that? Yeah. So then, so Saturday comes, and we're going to go to UFC, and I'm like, okay. It was getting late. I said, look, let me send Sanaf, let's meet on the way. He goes, no, wait, we're going to go to Moscow, aren't we? I said, oh yeah, I forgot. He goes, let me pick you up, we'll go together. I think he felt a bit, nervous first time. So he picks me up in a famous Bugatti and waking up all my neighbours, that engine. It's literally, and I swear, I love speed, but when I'm with him, the way he drives, I'm like, it's this G4. I'm like, go slow, he laughs. Getting old. I said, no, just go slow.
Yeah.
Let's go to the masjid. Walk in, it's very empty. Isha's finished. It's like, say, an hour gone since Isha finished. And there's like a caretaker there. So I said, let's pray 2 sunnah. So we're praying together. But obviously I'm reciting loud so you can hear me every step from the sajda to atayat, every part, because he just never done it before. And we finished, and he's copying me step by step, and you can see the Noor in his face, you know.
Mashallah.
People saying, comments, he's not close enough, but I'm, by purpose, you know the video, I want him to see every kind of bet. If he's too close, he won't pick up some things.
No, 100%.
So it needed to be like that, so to see every action, you know, even from where they're raising the right finger. So we're talking, he felt, I could see his Nora's face, he smiled, he goes, yeah, thanks for that. Then I said, you know what, let's record this one. There was one caretaker in the corner. I said, can you record us praying? He goes, yeah, sure. He goes, are you sure? People think I'm an extremist now. They're going to make... I said, just don't worry. I'd rather this, all that shit you post about, oh, bitch. I said, just do something positive. You've been talking about Islam for ages. Let the people... It'll be great to see this, that someone like you praise.
What was going through your mind when he said to you, like, oh, bro, like, we need to go to the mosque, and, you're driving, you're sitting in the car, and he's taking you in his Bugatti Chiron to the masjid. This is Andrew Tate, like you said, who's, very boisterous character... so what's going through? You've known this guy for many, many years, and like I said, he's been close to Islam. You're talking about Islam, but did you think in your head that like he's like gonna become a Muslim today, or he's a Muslim already?
I always thought. So I had loads of calls from London, bro. I know you're that guy. He's done some good videos. He's almost there. Loads of guys would message me, speaks about Islam. I said, I am. Don't worry, but push people like him. I know his character. I know what he wants. He likes to hear. And we talk a lot, and we're there. And then after we played the second one, which was recorded, we're talking just like about the beautiful parts of Islam, like stories of the Prophet, battles, his character, specific, like just things that he was like, yeah, like we're having a great convo. Someone else we knew walked in and joined in, and just nice convo and stuff. And I knew then, and he's always saying, Islam's the only tolerant. Like he used to see him, he goes, what I like is they stick together. People don't tweak shit. They don't sell themselves for society. I said, because we know it's the truth. Because, like, it's not a religion. It's for everywhere. How to make money, how to treat your wife. I said, if you've got a couple who live by Islam, you'll never have a divorce. You'll never have a fight. Unfortunately, neither do. The man or the woman. They kind of like let emotions take care of them. If they lived it in Islamic life, they wouldn't even shout, raise their voice with each other. That's not what we think. So we talk for ages. I know that then he's right. Obviously, Allah brings whoever he wants to Islam. What you can give someone dawah for 25 years, he might not. But I knew he was always interested. For him to want to go there. There's no cameras, nothing. It was my field. Like, it's dead. It's not for show. It's not a PR stunt. No one's there. You can see the masjid is empty. So it was, and it's my record. It's not from his video. And I just knew then, and just talking for ages. He loved it. And then Yeah, subhanAllah, he became a Muslim, and after that, we had the Islamic Center of UAE. We went to, any time we got contacted by these centers, he would never say no. Any other things, he's like, nah, I can't bother. F1 to the World Cup final, we're invited, you know. But when it came to Islamic thing, he would go. That's what I liked. Many videos I never posted, I've got of him, never. Always love to go, John. He'd always say, thank you for bringing us. I'm like, stop saying thank me. Like, I need to, you know. And I said, it's good for you. He loved it. He loved the feeling of after prayer. It was hard to go Jummah sometimes, bro, because everyone just flocks in. It's like, I've never seen it.
Did he ever comment on how he felt after taking his shahada? Because I always feel as though, like when I've spoken to reverts, they kind of, and Allah says it in the Quran, right, where he lifts the veils, right? Did he ever mention this? And the reason why I'm unsure whether it was like a momentary reaction or is because, like you said, he's kind of always agreed with the principles of Islam.
He didn't explain like that. He didn't have it wasn't like shahada. He's like, see, I think he truly knew it was always the truth. He's been raised in Luton. He was always around Muslims as well. Amir, his coach, knows me. He's always been around Muslims, but raised Luton. He knows the respect. He always says it in his videos. The family unit, how they all stick together. He just loves that aspect, how he was treated. He just, Islam, you don't need to sell it to anyone. Just be an example and people revert, in my opinion. If you're just an example of how we should be, like I'm not even, like if we try even 10% like the Prophet behaved, peace be on him, everyone will flock. They'll see it's just characteristics. And he noticed this, and he just loved the brotherhood. He always said to me, like, bro, like since just the love of getting, like, he get invites people with Qurans, prayer mats, and he loved them. Like he put his Quran in his house here, Islamic centers, sitting in talks. We walked to one on the Flag Day, a Muslim Islamic center, where they were doing a class on Hajj and Umrah, and we just walked in to watch, and then they were like, oh, the new reverts, Andrew. He got up and said a few things, and he was just embarrassed. I felt bad for him. It's like, it wasn't planned. Like, I'd love to go here and what you're doing, and saw all the classes and schedules, what people are doing. So, look, he's done his delivery, and some of the things he says, his content I don't agree with everything, his delivery, but people don't know him, so they judge from outside. They just have a hatred because feminism, whatever it is, I don't like what he says, what he does, but I'm telling you, I know him, but I don't have to lie. This is why I really defend him, because number one, he's a Muslim. But if he was wrong and he did the crime, I'd first to say, give the punishment. I'm not, that's heinous accusation. I'd say, give him the punishment, whatever. But I know he hasn't. That's why there's no evidence. Before I even heard anything, I knew it's not him because I know the guy. It's like if you leave now, even if you met me for a few hours, and you heard Tam went on a killing spree, butchered 5 people after, you'd be like, no way.
I'd be like, it's the guy outside.
Yeah. But you say, no way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm around this guy every day. I can tell you.
Yeah,
my wife's around, my friends, everyone says the same. And that's why I'm so staunch. And people like things, it's not, wallahi, not a dirham. No benefit for me. But my point is defending someone when I think wrong's being done. And I think the world's judging him because of content creation, of stupid things he said. Then we'd all be in jail we've all said stupid things in our life and delivery. But it's just unfair, and I think they're going to try and silence him. And I think Muslims should unite and say, look, I don't agree with it. Some of the sisters and brothers, if they don't agree with it, say, okay, but let's go for justice. This is a Muslim, and even though Muslim is a human being, he's 10 months, it's been 10 months, no evidence. They're detaining him. The judge is saying, we can't charge officially because there's not enough evidence. Yeah, everyone's like, what does that say to you? He has CCTV in his house, inside and out. If it was bad, they could have used that. They've thrown it out of the case. Why? Because they know there's nothing there. His mobile phone records, they won't show any of that. Why? He's got evidence of these girls messaging him 8 hours a day. Other girls' phones of the girls. It's just sick. Yes, there are real crimes out there, which it's heinous. And as I said, wallahi, if there was clear-cut proof he did it, I'd wash my hands with him. But I know there isn't. And that's why he's in this situation. And they'll just go into money laundering now. They'll make up something. Because financially, you can get anyone with, you didn't pay a tax here, you didn't pay a parking permit, you didn't pay this, so. But it's frustrating, and like, I don't care. Like, people think they're trying to intimidate, you're standing up for him, trying to get smart with me online. Bro, I'm raised in a certain era where it doesn't annoy me. The day you come in my face and say that, okay, I'm not bothered about trolls online. You got to defend a brother, and he's a brother to me, and I know him well. And I find it just, it's not nice, you know. As Muslims, we experience it with Guantanamo Bay. Innocent people get arrested, just for being Muslim. And people say, well, he's not innocent, he's a misogynist. He says, I'm not agreeing with all the things he said, but it's content created. How do you know? 80% of that was just bullshit to sell the brand. Just people don't, you know.
And he has a daughter as well, right?
Yeah, he's a few kids. He's got a few
Mashallah.
kids, yeah. And him and his brother, like, they don't see behind the clock. I see him, you know, mother of his children. I've seen all. I don't know, it's his privacy, you know, but...
No, but these are things that Islamically we know that how to know a person is through these three things, right?
Daughters, and bro, me, I don't care who you are. You're not going to be around my family if I think you're scum. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
What am I? I'm not a gimp. So that says it all. And, bro, elders here, big UAE, entrepreneurs, people of government have all met him and they love him. I'll never mention him because obviously they feel threatened. People are giving him. They all said the same. They all love him. They're all big fans. You can't even say that nowadays. So I'm not afraid of nothing, bro. I only fear Allah. That's it. And I'll always say this. So that's for my opinion. Inshallah, the truth comes out. He's acquitted. Come back to move here. And you know what? This could be a trial. I hope he gets so close to the deen. He's got the Quran there. And it makes him just all-round better person, devout Muslim. And he could be huge for the Ummah. Bro, hundreds of thousands reverting because of him. Bro, I'm not to lie, my inbox. People in London, Shepherd's Bush speakers call him. My brother Shamsi called me, going, bro, these guys watch his videos reverting.
I watch a lot of Shamsi videos where the guys come up to him.
Yeah, they're reverting. So
mashallah.
you could do what you want, but he's bringing people to Islam, so Allah will judge him accordingly. And the thing is, like, just have to be just. And I honestly believe, even astaghfirullah, they're going to look to try and find him guilty because they just don't like the guy. I won't believe it. Like I said, if you're going by hearsay of an ex-sex worker or women who sell their bodies online as a witness, bro, for me it's not.
I think it might have been you who said if a woman sells her body for money, she'll sell you out. Yeah. She'll sell you for money.
It was actually Tommy Robinson. I saw him say that. And I was, you know what, I have to agree. He got it right. He goes, what do you expect? You pay them to take the clothes off. What do you think? They're not going to sell you for that? And that's the case you have. But I also... I think also him reverting. Look, this has been since last April. No evidence. All of a sudden, he comes back as a Muslim, holding the Quran to court in an Orthodox Christian country. That's gonna piss people off, bro. You know, in their face. People say he's a fake Muslim. If he's fake, why would he do that? That's gonna ruin him more. He's, you don't do that.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like going to a pit bull. Come here to the pit bull, like, and you get bitten. Like, what? Do you know what I mean? So people just, and they just charge. So. I can understand, I can understand why there's hatred for him. I understand as well. They've took it wrong in the edits. I can understand, but there's one thing hating a guy and one thing letting a guy suffer for something he's not done. And anyone with logic will see this is fake. This bullshit case is bullshit.
I mean, when I'm listening to the facts of what's going on. I mean, even when I listen to your conversations with Brother Suleiman as well. I mean, I just feel like this might be very like simpleton, but like, is that not kidnap? Because there's no charges, right? Just because they're the government, they've not charged him with anything.
Yeah,
you know?
You can understand. Look, if I come and you say I've assaulted you, they've got to take it serious and remind me. That's their job. I understand that too. But then to keep going on, okay, there's still no evidence. Why you can't live in bail or house arrest? Why? Because you think he's going to talk. Why? What's so scary about him talking? You got to think of these things. 10 months and no clear-cut evidence to charge him with. Bro, so if it's not in 10 months, what's going to come now? What do you think they're doing? They're finding people, they're going to fabricate. It's facts. If not, they're going to go to money and just try and find something. They're looking for anything. But it's a vendetta. Just look at all... Don't go by me, just look at the facts of the case. Why is he still detained and not official charge? Because there's no evidence. So if you've got no evidence since last April and we're in February now, if you didn't find it now, what are you going to find? Oh, you know what? Speak here. We'll give you this. We'll give you that.
And they're throwing evidences out and they're saying to the victims,
no CCTV.
You're brainwashed.
And there's alleged victims coming out saying, we're not victims. We love him. He never did anything. You're brainwashed. So
that's the misogyny, I feel.
That's crazy. I'm going to say I was not a victim. They didn't harm me. None of the time you're lying, you're brainwashed. Imagine, bro, how did people not see how crazy this is? And people are calling me, bandwagon, you're getting paid, Tate fan, you're a scumbag. I'm like, bro, forget me, call me what you want. It doesn't bother me, but you're not looking at the facts of the case. The victims are brainwashed. So let's say, so who says the real victims are not brainwashed by the government?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's just stupid.
Stupid.
In the UK, the West, or the US, this would never go into trial. They'd laugh, but there's a vendetta now. They're going to do a documentary on BBC. I heard this, that. It's reminiscent, and not on the same scale, but of like Michael Jackson, it reminds me of. You know, just a vendetta, just to ruin someone, assassinate the character. And that's what it looks like to me.
No, 100%. And do you know what? I think, like you said, I mean, I'm not going to postulate, actually. I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think is the actual reason that they've arrested him? Because a lot of, not conspiracies, but like a lot of people have their own thoughts and opinions in the sense of like, it's because he's a Muslim and he was going to convert, you know, so many people would follow him. You know, the most Googled man in the world. I mean, just that alone is an incredible, the most Googled man in the world. And you were, you know, quote unquote, like a nobody in that sense, right? You weren't a president, you weren't a, you know, and so from that, and now you become a Muslim, right? The fastest growing religion. There's other people that are saying on the other side, like, he can influence elections, which he probably could. So what are your thoughts on why he's actually been detained?
Honestly, it's hard to say because it's all speculation. I honestly think, I don't believe the US are behind it or the UK. I don't believe that. Because if they were, they wouldn't do such a sloppy job. And the US and UK always, when they prosecute or arrest, they'll make sure there's enough sufficient evidence, or they don't do it like the CPS. They don't just, let me hold you and find it. They're professional. So this is, the way it was filmed, it looked like a Romanian hit job, just claiming, you know, when you just go hunting, claiming their cattle, whatever it is. I think he's pissed someone off in Romania or someone high. He's something to do with Romania.
Okay.
Maybe as oligarchs, maybe the old Orthodox Christian who used to fund and stop funding them. Could be anything, who knows? Or it could be the Romanian government really thinking that it was true, getting pressure with someone, and then realising, oh, we've gone too far now, what do we do? It could be anything. Who knows? But all I know is it's BS, and I think it is. And anyone, take emotion out of it and look at it in a logical perspective. Don't mention his name. Go to anyone else. Make up a name, say John Jones, Jerry Jones. You know, make a fake name and tell someone, what do you think of this case? And make it up and just ask them. And they'll be like, yeah, it's no case. But then say Andrew Tate. That's how you test people. Since April, no evidence. Detained. 17,000 pages presented to the judge, and he still said there's not sufficient evidence for a case. 17,000 pages. What else do you want? And now, then alleged victims saying we're not victims. Then the two girls who claim they're victims went on a holiday to the French Riviera 4 weeks later after making accusations. If you're a victim of such heinous crimes, you're shocked, you're depressed, you don't act like that. Dancing, posting on TikToks, their social media is exposed everywhere. Doesn't look like victims to me. One was an ex-stripper. The other one flew from America to meet Tristan. So is that I don't know, bro. For me, it's just I think it's a setup, and I think unfortunately people don't speak up. It could happen to anyone.
And just to kind of cap on everything, and you mentioned Tristan there as well, and I just want to say, you know, as a kind of fan and follower of both of the brothers, you know, I feel, you know, even though he's not Muslim yet, inshallah, may Allah guide him. You know, I feel for these guys. I mean, we've seen them coming in and out of prisons. It really humanized both of them. You know, you see, especially like, because we've seen. I mean, you've been right next to him, right? But for me, we've seen on social media Andrew doing all of these amazing things. You know, he's living the most incredible life. Like even that video that he did where he was talking about True Geordie, and he was just sitting there and he was smoking shisha. I was just like, this guy is really like, I'm similar to you as well. I don't get impressed by many people, right? It's what's in the heart, and it's what a person has achieved and how he treats people. That's kind of what I look at, 100%. Right? And so it's like that guy, like he really is everything that he says on the tin.
Yeah.
And so when you see him now, kind of coming in and out of prison, and he's not able to groom himself, he's not able to like wear his clothes, and I don't want to say it humanizes him. It almost makes him a bit more real, which I think is probably worse for the people that don't like him, because and what they don't know is that, you know, if he's there with the Quran, he 100% he's going to come closer. He'll read the stories of like Yusuf alayhi salam, who was falsely, you know, Ayub alayhi salam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
not that we're comparing. The prophets are prophets,
of course, yeah.
But yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know the trolls are gonna jump onto that. Yeah. No. These are the people that we take lessons from, right? And we can look at their lives and we can see what's going on in our lives, and we can just take some inspiration, take some hope and benefit from that, right? So I really feel as though, you know, look, regardless of what Romanians did and, you know, whatever, ultimately Allah's in control, right? And
100%.
and this is a test from Allah, and I think inshallah both the brothers come out, the two girls that are with him, the two women that are with him, they're released. That in itself is quite traumatizing, man. Like I almost feel like they want the two women to just, you know, say something just so they get released. You know, why are they keeping them there? And so, yeah, I mean,
look, they're trying to break him.
Yeah,
let's be honest. You can see, I know him. It's taking its toll. But at the same time, Allah's the best of all planners, and Allah, He's there because Allah wants him there at the right time. It's in Allah's hands. Whatever's going to happen, Allah knows the outcome. Guilty or not guilty. So this was meant for him. If it means astaghfirullah, 10 years in jail, that's what Allah prescribed for him. The problem is just you got to do your best, but at the same time, you know, this life's about tests and trials and tribulations. It's how you take it, whether you stray and get into drugs and become crazy and just avoid it and become an alcoholic, or you can become close to God. We've all had tests and trials different ways. And so Allah's test to say, come to me, let me fix you. Everyone, you know? So this is a test, and inshallah khair. I know there's no evidence. I truly believe the Romanians will see if they've got any kind of professionalism. They'll have to say, look, you know what, we've punished him enough, get lost, deported, we'll keep your assets, keep on, whatever, you're gone. Because it's not me, it's not being a friend, it's not being biased. Since last April 2022, they've had investigations, wiretaps, they've got all the CCTV, everything, and still no evidence. What does that say to you? Guys are not listening, like, that says it all, and they're not prosecuting because they're still building. They could have built this over the 10 months. They're looking now, they're desperate. So they can fabricate anything, in my opinion, now.
I've thought about being in the position of being the most Google man in the world, right? Just thinking about the mechanics of that. What does that mean? And, you know, you mentioned there, like, wiretaps, and, you know, you've got police after you, and, you know, and it, just because of what you're saying and how fast you're growing. And in fact, I remember thinking, actually, when I saw Andrew Tate's growth, basically beginning of last year, in my head, I did think to myself, like what's going to happen? Like, he's just started, you know, he's just got started in 3 or 4 months. No one is more well known than he is, right? So I did have in my mind that, like, I know the world doesn't allow,
comes down,
the world doesn't allow this to happen, right?
But he was huge, then he got banned or cancelled. But then he came to Dubai, his career just went boom. I think when he became, everything came back. So people say, that's why he converted for money. He never planned that. He just came to here, whatever. But look, Allah knows best. Whatever will be, will be. But at the same time, like he always said, with fame comes great responsibility too. So he goes, some of the things, my delivery was wrong at a time when I wasn't so known, but punishing someone for content creation, that's all it is. Then punish 50 Cent rappers. I'm a gangster, I'll kill you. Like, it's just content.
You saw Sam Smith at the Grammys, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a tweet about Sam Smith which went viral. Had every feminist LGBTQ inboxing, they're going to beat me up and kill me and I'm scum and die and burn. And I didn't even say anything homophobic. Not that I can't stand it anyway, but I just said it's vulgarity. It wasn't about sexuality. It's straight or gay. It's disgusting. Do you know what I'm saying? And people just went mad, but a lot of people agree, but I just I found it horrific. And do that thing, no problem, but just put it on a X-rated thing. Don't let kids see that.
Yeah.
Just
do what you want, do it behind closed doors, do it where consenting people can
see it. It's just disturbing, bro.
It's like they want to sexualize the kids, isn't it?
Sexualizing like animals, that was.
And so I just have kind of 2 last questions, Tam. I mean, we could literally go on for all night, but I mean, when it comes to, I'm not sure like how much you're able to like hear from him or get in touch with people that speak to him or anything like that. But just in terms of like his state of mind right now, like how is he doing?
Look, no comment on those things. But Andrew's strong, and his brothers are tough. Like they're very. We talk about most things. They're very, bro. They've come from nothing. They literally were poor, self-made from nothing. So they've been up and down. They've had the worst times as well. So it's just another chapter for them. But I think he's more upset with. He goes, look, I don't want people. I think what I know about him is he just doesn't want people to believe this shit. It's like he knows it's not true. I hope people don't believe it. I want people to know the truth. Like me or not, this is not true. That's what I know, Andrew. And he'll be thinking. And it's a tough one because to know truly what a man's thinking is hard to say, but at the same time, the only good benefit is they're together. It's like the brotherhood's together. If it was individual, it's different. So when you're with your brother, it's like ride or die. They always say, we're here together, let's deal with it together. Whatever happens, they're together. So at least that's a bonus, I think, in my opinion. So at least they got back up with each other, God forbid, if something happens,
Inshallah, bro. My last question, bro, is what's, I guess, to people that follow you, to people that love you, people that
I don't think no one loves me.
No, bro. A lot of people do, Tam. And I think the reason why, bro, is because you show a lot of love. When you give love, you get love back.
Yeah.
And I mean, even when I first messaged you, that's what I said to you, right? I was like, bro, I just booked my ticket, man. I'm so excited because of the energy that you gave me. I was like, okay, wicked, let's do this, man. And so, what would you say to people that are following you? They want to do something in their life, right? They might be listening to this podcast in their car, on the way to work, or on the train on the way to work, or maybe to go into school. What's your advice to people to achieve what you've achieved in the sense of creating a life where it's yours, you're happy, you don't need to do things for other people. You can, not in that sense, like as in like working for another person, you are the leader of your own life, right? You're in charge of your own life, of course, with whatever Allah has written and planned. But what's your advice to people that are kind of stuck in a rut?
Firstly, I swear you're so like a compliment, just like here, but I'm nothing. Like literally everyone. For me, I live content for what I like doing, but it doesn't mean I'm an example. Or people should aim to be that. But for my opinion, it's just honestly, if you have an idea or belief or a passion, just do it. Don't be scared of naysayers. As long as it's halal, don't become a pimp or a drug dealer or whatever. But selling alcohol, whatever. But just if you got a passion, go for it. And I understand some circumstance, people say it's not that easy. Maybe they're not as well. They have financial circumstances. But then work to the point where you can open a door or network or ask questions or DM someone. Just keep DMing people just find out things. There's no harm. If they ignore you, never reply, so what? You tried, keep going. We're in a world where this can open doors for anyone. It's just luck. You just keep trying. One tweet, a DM, an email. You never know. And just whatever you feel is good for you to do. But at the same time, everyone's life's different. Everyone's got different responsibilities. Someone might have a sick family member. Someone might have a disability. So the main thing is stay close to Allah. Honestly, even if non-Muslims are watching it, find your purpose of life. Then you'll find God. Then you'll find Islam's the truth. And just be content. When you truly pray and read about the Quran and the Prophet, read the Quran story and the Prophet stories and the Sahaba, and you'll realize this life is nothing. It will hold you content, and you'll realize everything's meant to be. My point is just whatever you think or got an idea, just do it. Don't let someone say, it won't work. Bro, I got it all the time. What's this MMA? What are you going to do with that? Or you're going to be a fighter. You want to do this? I was average. I wasn't like special, but it goes with anything. Like I always wanted kids. I thought, yeah, I had kids. Maybe I don't have. Who knows? And then you get twins. Like twins. Like it's a gift from God. Yeah, alhamdulillah. So
girls as well.
Yeah, girls. It's a test from Allah as well. To test me. Given a man like me, kids, daughters, so like paranoia. But yeah, like that's it's hard to say, but just work hard and anyone can do anything. There's no difference between a Khabib, Michael Jordan, they're all men. They're just human beings. They all bleed the same. Don't be impressed. Just know you can do that, and don't be you got to be positive, bro. You're gonna get knocks, bro. I still have issues. It's not easy, but it is what it is. Whatever's gonna be, what it be. Don't stress it. Just go with the flow, and you can overcome. Every problem there's a solution. Every problem there's a solution, except death. But even then, death is the hereafter. So, you got to think like that and just don't aspire to be anyone. Just learn things, take it, tricks, whatever it is, what they're doing. You saw Logan in KSI Prime. Think of an energy drink. Think of this. Whatever you're into, think and see how they did it, and then it's achieved. But like, I'm no example to anyone else. I'm just saying, I gave it a go for what I wanted to do, and alhamdulillah, I'm content in my life where I'm ready to go if I had to go, But my goal is to raise my daughter, so everyone should be the same. My one bit of advice for the Muslim or my young guys and stuff is get married young. I think keeps you away from a lot of sin, I think, and a straight path and a good connection, a good relationship will help build each other. I think that's a good. And another thing is have kids young if you can. I wish I had younger because I'm old. And don't think, I haven't got the money. Don't ever think, I haven't got the money to afford it. It doesn't happen. Allah brings it to you. There'll never be, what's money for a kid? Would you? There's always ways. So that's my advice. Marriage and kids, and just try and live a halal life, and the rest will be good. Do not follow these people. Don't get impressed too much by them. And trust me, I've met hundreds of these celebs, and the majority of them are bastards anyway. So you're not missing anything.
Bro, my brother Tam, thanks so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. And yeah, man, I hope your throat is not too damaged after this podcast, man.
Guys, if I'm sniffing and I'm making these throats, please understand. My kids came from nursery. They give me some bug. I took an IV so I couldn't miss this, and I'm literally, my throat's swollen, and I got someone getting murdered in the next room. There's these screaming noises, and I have to go and see what the hell's going on. But honestly, so apologies if you heard dirty sniffling pig noises from me on this mic, but I just swollen.
Okay, guys. Guys, that was episode 32 of the Rizq podcast with Tam Khan. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And make sure that you follow Tam. If you're not doing that already, everything will be in the description below. See you on the next one.
Good one, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Let me just see who that is. One sec, bro.
Rizq or Rizq?